Action.
Welcome to What Movie Should Ken Watch. My name is Caleb Stevens. With me is my co-host Kenan Belial. Kenan, how are you doing?
I'm doing swell. Or neat.
Great. Well, we have a guest with us today on our first episode. This is John. John, would you like to say something?
Mm-hmm.
Off to a great start. All right.
We might need Caleb up a little bit.
That's fine. So we just saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yes, we did. Wow. Is the input on this side? Oh my gosh, it might be.
Yeah, that's the movie. That's
No,
the movie
wait.
I watched.
If you're on this side, I think I'm fine.
Hello?
It's okay. There's stuff
Okay.
happening, so I mean we'll be fine. We won't die.
So when we
Kenan's getting a little nervous about the sound quality.
Did you just pause it? No.
No, I did not. I'm not pausing this baby for nothing.
Okay, so we about a week ago, I texted Kenan. I'm like, hey, you want to see Guardians of the Galaxy? And he's like, yeah, let me check. And then he checked, and then he's like, yeah, I can go. And then I invited John. He's like, I can't come. And then suddenly he came. So we just saw that movie.
He skipped one of his oldest friends' graduation parties to come see this movie. Was it worth it? We'll find out today on What Movie Should Kenan Watch.
All right.
Yeah, so sorry, old friend.
Who will not be mentioned.
Kenan, what did you think of the movie? Just general thoughts.
Are we doing the other segments later?
Yeah.
Okay. First episode, we're doing a little bit off the cuff. Okay, what did I think of the movie? It was good. Next segment.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
well-
wait. I forgot to explain our rating system. Should I do that right now?
Yeah.
Because I came up with one. I don't think I told you about it.
Okay, you better
Say
tell.
it. Tell
Okay,
me.
So everyone knows that Napoleon Dynamite is the greatest movie of all time, universally. It's hailed on all the lists.
Okay.
So
Whatever you say.
how many letters are in Napoleon Dynamite? I think there's 12, right? Is that right?
So let's count. Let's count. Wait, I can just go to Finder.
One.
Okay.
Let's
so
quit
there's
that stupid Chrome.
Okay, N.
I.
Wait, code.
Oh.
NAP. I'm cheating. ELEON. I'm not counting.
Hey, that's that little
okay.
French dude
One
who
oh
took
two.
over half of Russia, didn't he?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Wow, I was 4 off. Anyway, so 16, right? Looks like we're up to 16 now.
I was just about to say, okay, first episode off, we've already got.
Gotta make the good days last.
All right. So anyway, we're gonna since Napoleon Dynamite's the greatest movie of all time, we're gonna judge all our movies on how many Napoleon Dynamites does it get out of 16. 16 being
Beautiful.
16 being almost better or just as good as Napoleon Dynamite. Maybe it can't be as good as that.
Out of 16.
And then 1 being unbelievably bad.
Gosh.
Let's hope we don't spike the mics.
So
Spike the mics, that should be a session.
should we start over?
Why?
Okay.
This is
No,
great. This
no.
is great content. I'm loving this.
Don't second guess yourself as a content creator. You cut your hair, you're dedicated now.
So, the movie started and Groot was dancing around, and there was a big battle scene. What'd you guys think of that?
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. From the very beginning, I knew something was wrong. No, okay. Actually, I love the song it started with. It was Mr. Blue, right? Something to that effect.
Don't remember.
It's an old song. It'd be on whatever your state's equivalent is to 100.3 The Bus here in Iowa. Anyway, that song's so good. Okay, here's my little in on my philosophy when it comes to movies. I am very forgiving of movies, like overly much. Like one of the last things I rated on Letterboxd was
Go to your profile.
Yeah, like open Letterboxd. See, I don't even remember the name of the movie. It was the last thing I rated 4 stars.
Before Zookeeper's Wife.
Yeah, Zookeeper's Wife. That's not a 4-star movie. It's okay. I don't know. It's a great story. We're supposed to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. What am I doing?
Movie Kenan should watch.
Okay, what I mean to say is that it's good, but I'm a little bit I go on how much I enjoyed as well. Though 5-star movies I rate 5 stars because they go above and beyond. Like there's an actual like theme and something that stands out for this movie. That being said, I consider Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, to be a solid 4-star movie. 4 stars, about 80% is where I get to the point where that was something enjoyable, that was something memorable, and it has a place in my heart now. So, Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, I enjoyed very much. And I talked to Theo, who was gonna be the guest on this podcast when he decided to,
Actually go to my old friend's graduation party.
I was just about to say.
We abandoned him for this.
Yeah. I think I made the wrong choice.
Oh my gosh.
But
spoilers
I
for our
can't-
review of it.
If they dwell on it, then I don't know what will happen.
Okay, anyway, what was I saying?
I agree. I think I remember enjoying the first Guardians. I just saw it in theaters. I remember thinking it looked really bad from the trailers, and then seeing the critics score, which was like up in the 90s, and being like, "Wait, is this movie actually good?" So then that made me want to see it.
I think we
And
saw
then-
it together with Aaron, right?
No, we didn't.
Okay, I saw
with
it.
my
I
dad.
bought
I saw it
it.
with my dad.
Okay.
I bought it from Target because I heard it was a good movie.
Wow, someone shopped at
And
Target.
I rarely buy movies, and I bought this movie because I was like, I have to buy a movie one day. And I knew I was never going to end up seeing this movie unless I did something about seeing the movie. So I did, and I was like, that was a pretty good movie. And I liked it. I liked it was funny. There was a lot of action. The climax ended on this happy note where it stated, Guardians of the Galaxy is coming back because they knew they would. They knew the movie would be successful. They had that much confidence in the movie they created. They were good with it, and they did a really fantastic job with the movie. And that's what I thought of the first movie.
And that concludes this episode
Yeah.
of No.
The other funny thing is, I own a Guardians of the Galaxy poster, and I think I bought it before the movie came out, and it's in my closet for some reason.
I would proudly hoist that poster on my
Guardians of
wall.
the Galaxy has 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, and its letterboxed is.
I think 4.0. I think I looked it up one
I
time.
think it's less than that.
No, actually, 4.0 is Prestige. Prestige is a 5-star movie.
I think it's it's 3.9, so you're close.
Okay.
And
yeah.
then currently on Letterboxd, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is at 3.8, and on Rotten Tomatoes, it is 81.
Okay, so critics have a
West-
positive.
Yeah, critics like this movie, and I can
because-
see why it's
It's funny.
a blockbuster that's not crap.
Yeah.
I would agree. Okay, so that's the first thing we say.
Maybe
I agree.
critics all have really
I think
poor
everyone
family
saw
lives.
the Boss Baby in the Circle, and then they saw this movie, and they're like, hey, it's not one of those.
Yeah, it's. I was thinking that towards the end of the movie that I was like, this is probably a pretty solid start to the summer blockbuster window of, or I guess summer blockbuster season of movies. It's a solid start. What was the first? Oh yeah, you were talking about the
King
first-
Arthur's gonna blow everyone away, but
The movie
This is
Stop
pretty good
interrupting
start.
me, Caleb.
the movie opened with Groot dancing around. Okay?
Yeah, that was the first thing.
And when it's little baby Groot, and he looks cute, and the movie reminds us that he looks cute every time Groot does something cute, and every time someone
They even
says it.
say he's cute.
They say he's cute. Everyone knows. Groot knows it. Groot knows it. That's why he goes, "I am Groot," and that voice instead of a deeper voice, because we know he's capable of the deeper voice, no matter what his size is, because he's a tree. Okay. Now, when I saw the Groot dancing, I realized that the directors, they knew who was coming to see this movie, and everyone coming to see the movie was coming to see Baby Groot, because that's how the last movie ended. They knew what we wanted to see, and they showed us that. All right? Anyone who didn't want to see that was immediately disappointed and was offered a way out to just leave the movie, like those other guys watching God's Not Dead 2 that one time. Just some atheist walked out of that movie. I waved goodbye to their souls. Oh dear. Oh
One of these
dear.
movies is a lot better than the other one. Which one's better?
And I noticed that. Kenan, what did you think of this movie?
Okay.
Let's go back to the beginning and
Yeah.
kind of walk through it. So
Okay.
we got to the dancing part. What did you think of the background? We got some battling sequences going on with a big squid monster.
Okay. I'm going to say this as a blanket statement to the movie, and it applies to the beginning. Because I think the beginning is a good example of this. The movie is really strong in visual and camera jokes. It kind of knows what it's doing. Like Ant-Man, it kind of took
What was a camera joke in Guardians of the Galaxy?
the continuing one shot at the beginning.
Oh.
Like, it was a one shot. It's obviously not a real one shot because it was like
all CGI.
like
It was
80%
animated.
CGI.
Yeah, it was CGI. It was created, and everything else, the moving
Yeah.
camera was just someone rolling it on a skateboard.
Yeah, see, it was not impressive because the main guy in the shot was. Spoilers, it was Groot. It was Groot in the main shot going around doing things for the duration of Mr. Blue, I think is the name of the song. Please don't kill me, John. Not you, John. The John who listens to nothing but 80s music and loves 80s cars.
Wait, John's Cars?
Yeah, John Cars.
We'll say this to him and be like, we mentioned you on the podcast, John Cars.
I don't know. Do you agree with the idea that it tells visual jokes? Like a lesser Edgar Wright.
I'd say, yeah, less extreme. Edgar Wright's extremely extreme. This was more like showing a funny CGI thing or having Groot pick up something that was like an eye or something like that. More James Gunn type of humor than Edgar Wright match cut humor.
That's fair. I'm just using it as an example because I haven't seen as many movies as you.
I've only seen 2 James Gunn movies, and they're both the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, so I'm not... I mean, what else has he made? He's made,
Going to Letterboxd,
he's made Snacks.
Caleb's favorite app.
He's made the movie Slither, which looks kind of gross.
Amazing.
It's about a small town taken over by an alien plague.
Haven't seen that before.
Super, which I hear is pretty good.
Super good.
He's directing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming out in 2020.
Hooray.
And he's in the movie that everyone else is in, Movie 43, which looks horrible. And I hear it's horrible. So, he wrote Dawn of the Dead, which is a movie. So
I'm just looking
he
at
knows
the,
what's
the
up.
box out.
He's an American writer, filmmaker, actor, musician, and cartoonist. So,
Oh.
according to his Wikipedia page,
Billionaire playboy philanthropist.
and he
but not-
wears glasses and he holds a mic apparently.
He's
in
got a
his profile
frohawk.
pictures. Yeah, so this guy knows what's up. I think we're in capable hands for Volume 3, I think.
All right.
Unless we
Okay.
didn't like Volume 2.
Okay, what did who didn't talk about the beginning scene? You didn't talk about the beginning scene. What you thought?
I liked it. I was kind of... Some of it was a little boring, I guess. It was just kind of the same thing. Like,
Just
CGI
it went too long.
doesn't impress me anymore. And these Marvel movies are all kind of blurring together and being the same.
I don't
This was
blame you.
really colorful, but... I mean, Thor Ragnarok's probably going to be good. But I'm not excited for... Wonder Woman, that is the next great next great Marvel movie. According
The
to-
Marvel, the
Yeah,
DC Marvel
the Marvel-
universe.
yeah.
What
But,
else
and
is?
that's the universe that like a Batman is in, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There were these weird little figures.
But
What else is coming? What else is a Marvel movie that's coming out this year? Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Kind of. That's kind of a Sony Marvel movie. I'm excited for that because it's Spider-Man.
yeah.
Because Sam Raimi made all us people who are like 10 to 20-year-olds. Everyone in that age group loves the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans.
True. Maybe.
So that movie's gonna
You
make a
know,
whole bunch of money.
I didn't watch any. Oh no, I did watch one trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but I don't remember what was inside of it.
I think we
So
just
I guess
watched
it may
the
get
original
spoiled.
trailer, and I don't think I watched anything else. So I saw
Yeah.
the opening scene, the opening battle scene, which was pretty prevalent in that, and then a few other shots throughout the movie. But I didn't know, and I knew his dad was gonna be like a planet. But
Spoilers. Okay, well, should we pull a?
We put a spoiler
hold on, hold
in
on.
the title, more or
Should
less.
we pull a Weekly Planet and have a cutoff here be spoilers?
sure, this whole thing.
We've already spoiled
Han
stuff.
Solo dies.
So what happens? What happens after the battle scene at the beginning?
The golden people give them a
Oh,
reward.
yeah.
they hand over the sister of the green girl, who's mostly robotic.
Oh yeah,
and,
Karen
and is-
Gillan from Doctor Who.
Oh yeah.
Which she did not stand out in this movie at all. I'm
She
like,
was-
is that Karen
she's
Gillan or is
really
that a new
moody.
actress?
She's. Here's a relatable part about the blue girl with all the robotic things is that she's a loser. That's what she does, and it's,
You're a loser.
Except for that one time she won and then she didn't kill her sister for some
Okay,
reason.
I actually liked that scene though. What did you guys think?
The truth is, I like that scene. I'm actually complimenting her loserness because it is a relatable part of the character.
But she wanted throughout
it
the
got to
movie.
her.
She was shooting to kill. So in that time frame of her shooting to kill her and not killing her, did she decide not to kill her, or was that just convenient so that you can't kill a main character?
One, her life was saved, and two, she had to kill her looking her in the eyes.
I guess that's true.
Those are the two
I
differences.
love the shot where it was the green girl, Zoe, I think is her name, her actress name. She's on the sand, and it's just blue and orange.
You know what else
The
would
two
have
best
happened?
colors in cinema, blue and orange.
Had she have stabbed the green girl would have grabbed the knife from inside her body, pulled it out, and then stabbed her back. That would have happened, and then they both would have died.
Okay, well, see, from that point though, I liked the relationship between the sisters. I actually thought it was one of the, well, it kind of ended sourly. The end was really cheesy of that, but like that, I liked the
like the-
chemistry. I liked the chemistry of the two sisters throughout the rest of the movie from that point, which is
I like
the
the
last
chemistry in the whole movie. I think it did that really
I think
well.
the best chemistry was Chris Pratt and I'm gonna look up her name, the green girl, who is
I didn't
Zoe.
notice it that
How do you
much,
say
but I
that name?
guess.
Zoe.
Wait, oh,
Zoe.
I guess.
Saldana.
Z-O-E.
Zoe Salad.
She's in.
Oh, get it? She's Zoe Salad because she's green.
She's in a lot of movies I've seen. She's in Avatar, Pirates One, Star Trek, all of the Star Treks. She's in cult classic Steven Spielberg's best movie, The Terminal.
Think you've watched a lot of movies.
Wait,
Caleb.
wait, hold on. Isn't Steven Spielberg's best movie E.T.?
That movie's overrated.
According to Letterboxd, his best movie is.
We just lost everyone listening.
Okay, listen. Okay.
I take back what I said.
Bridge back from Guardians of the Galaxy. Caleb hates E E.T.
I absolutely hate that movie. Okay? Just to make that clear on the first episode, so it's gonna be brought up if we ever watch a Steven Spielberg movie or any movie really.
Okay,
that movie is.
We're changing the name of the
is
podcast.
garbage. That movie is garbage. Okay.
Okay, what movie should
E.T.
Caleb
is
watch?
utter-
That's better than E.T.
No, new name
It's-
of the. Okay.
It's called What Movie Should Caleb Watch? Hint, it's E.T.
All right.
It's so bad. I on rewatching it, I just turned it off because I hated it so much.
The video game was bad too.
They blame that video game for crashing the video game industry in that one year for some reason. See, if E.T. didn't exist, the world would be a better place because video games would be.
They would have kept going.
Yeah, they would've-
Atari would still exist, guys. Atari, woo! I'm not that old.
Hey, Clayton just texted me and said, "If you want to come over, we're watching True Grit." But I'm recording a podcast. So,
You should text him.
Wait,
so
I'm
and he's gonna
recording a
listen to this
podcast.
podcast,
Yes.
and he's gonna be like, "Wait, I'm featured, so I'm
All of our friends are currently featured.
recording a podcast at Kinon's home."
Please, nobody call me Kenon.
Uh-oh.
Selfie. Okay, that's officially on the podcast.
All right.
All
so,
right, we're getting distracted. We went all the way to True Grit after.
E.T.
Anyway, let's. I've had enough of
What?
ET. Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I'm sorry, John.
I actually forgot the joke I was going to say, and I kept trying to say it. It was terrible. It was so bad. Ghost Hunt Dead 2 wasn't a very good movie.
You just offended all the people who liked that movie. Wait, who are
How'd
those
you
people?
get here? I drove a Prius.
Yes, yes.
That's the best line of that movie. Anyway, I don't. What else is good in Guardians of the Galaxy? What happened after the one thing?
See, we shouldn't have talked about the actual movie. Like, we talked about the movie a lot in the parking lot. We could have just recorded the podcast there, but we didn't have the mics.
Alright.
Could have. I like just skipping towards. What did you think of his dad being a planet and all that? I'll have to give you my 2 cents worth.
It's a disappointment to the build-up they had. They were talking about, like, oh man, this guy has half something. At the end
We
of the
forgot
other
to
movie.
talk about the opening shot.
We did talk about the opening shot with
No,
Groot.
that's
Oh, wait,
the
that's
opening
the
shot is of his
car.
dad planting the thing and
Oh.
and liking his mom.
Yeah, when he planted that, I thought he was gonna grow even more Groots. I thought that's.
So
I thought it was his son. I thought
I knew it was his dad, just because it was old and stuff. And I was like, it's gonna be his dad probably. And then he planted the thing, and I liked how they called back to it. I mean, it was kind of contrived, but they called back to it at the end.
Yeah, but it was a bad thing, and we thought it was a good thing.
Yeah, and then he killed his wife. Spoiler alert.
Okay, continuing spoilers. I'm kind of jumping around this movie in general. This movie is predictable. That's the best word I can come up with it. If you watch the first one, it's basically the same kind of humor, the same humor you would expect or predict from the sequel, and from the plot points that you see, it's it's so predictable. It's like that one. Oh, it's like Tron Legacy.
I loved that movie when I was 11, but I haven't seen it since. So.
A little bit like Tron Legacy, just mainly because the dad has a beard. He's
The dad
old.
is it the same actor?
I don't know. It might be, but like
I feel like
he's
that's the guy
an
from True
old
Grit.
dad that he hadn't seen for so long, and then they meet, and it's like, all right, son, let's be best buds. Yeah.
They played catch.
Yeah. See, that was. I'm wondering if that was meant to be a joke, but that might have been the most forced part of the entire movie.
I was at the beginning. I'm like, what are they doing? Making these weird things, and then I started throwing the catch, and everyone was laughing. I'm like, okay, that's.
I
funny,
didn't
guess.
hear anybody laughing. Like, okay,
I heard you laughing. 'Cause
Okay.
you sat
I
right next to me.
okay, the beginning. Okay, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, I saw it coming from a mile away because he was like, I just wanted to play catch with my dad earlier in the thing, and then I'm like, he has the ball, and they're throwing it back and forth when they're holding it, and I'm like, they're gonna start playing catch, and lo and behold, I prophesied it.
You're a real that one guy who prophesied that the world was gonna end a couple of years ago, and it didn't.
Oh dear.
Whatever that guy's name is.
Nobody remembers that guy's name. Anyway,
That would have been a funny joke if you remembered his name.
it still was. And that's when I realized it was still a funny joke. Anyway, they start playing catch. As soon as they start doing that, I'm like, this guy's totally evil. This guy is so evil. It's in every single movie. Not every single movie, but like, it's such an overused plot point that Guy finally finds long lost dad. Guy gets to bond with dad. Guy realizes that
Dad
his
is
new
evil.
that his replacement family, who's the main cast, like AKA Green Girl, and she's like, "But I thought we were your family." She says that. I was like,
I thought you already found your family. It was slightly more clever than saying we're your family.
yeah. I mean, it's
She's
a little
too
bit
tough
better,
to
but
say
like,
it directly.
okay, see, like, it's it's a cookie cutter plot. It's slightly above a cookie cutter plot. It's a cookie cutter cookie with good frosting on it, which good frosting is hard to find.
Frosting and the sprinkles, but the rainbow sprinkles.
Ooh, rainbow
Because
sprinkles.
at the end, it was just basically rainbow color palette, like in shot.
That
in
is
a couple
true.
Shots.
The credits were really great.
The credits
I think
were
the
great.
credits were. If you were to split this into a movie, 50% of it not good and 50% of it good, if you were to do that, the credits would be the 50% that was good.
Definitely.
I also love when he figures out the dad's bad, he just automatically starts shooting
Okay,
him.
that was amazing.
That
That
was
was one of the
awesome.
best parts. That he just does not wait.
What would have been funny is if his dad was like a human. I know that would make no sense for the plot, and he just shot him and he's just dead. Like you just shot him in the head,
That would be amazing.
and then it just ends or something.
See, that
or then
happens.
all the golden people come, and then they have a big battle, and then it
See,
ends.
that was that's what happened in the first episode of Firefly. Did you see Firefly?
I think
Yeah,
I've seen
everyone's
some of
seen
the first
Fire.
episode.
Okay,
Haven't
I
seen
can't
all
believe
of
it got
Firefly.
canceled. That's my favorite show. Oh, they're gonna bring it back. They're gonna bring it back.
They can't bring it back.
Just kidding.
I haven't finished it. I watched the first episode at Central Campus. Anyway, what was I saying? They had in that the hostage scene, and the FBI guy, or the equivalent of Space Western FBI, was holding the girl captive. And she's like, "Don't move, I'll shoot." The guy comes on literally as he's speaking, raises the gun, and like shoots him in the head, and then they just move on.
It ends the conflict. It traumatizes the little girl, but no one has time to care, and she was already traumatized to begin with.
Yeah, it's just, it was, I don't know. That's, I don't know. It was well done.
End was funny. End wrapped up a plot point in a way that wasn't contrived or disappointed or dragged on too long. It was the writer was like, what are we gonna do? It's like, oh, the guy just shoots him, and then they're like, yeah, okay, and then they went on to write the rest of the really good TV show known as Firefly.
I haven't finished it.
Another thing I liked in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is when I thought some of the most of the CG was pretty great, except the green screen stuff. Because every time there's a green screen, it's like, oh,
Okay,
they're on a green
this
screen.
guy's a genius at noticing green screen moments. I don't notice green screen
I
moments.
just noticed when there's like really good lighting on someone's face, and in the background, it just looks green screen. Like even if it's not, it looks green. Well, this was obviously green screen, but in other things, I'm not a genius at noticing green screen but I noticed it in this. But I really loved the CGI when the dad was coming back and like he was like growing back. So it's like it was his bones and it was his.
Oh yeah, that scene actually looked good.
Because I like gross stuff like that. I don't know why.
Because you're a psychopath.
And that's when he realized he was a psychopath.
Oh Lord. What is happening?
Anyway, I like that.
You tell me.
So, our overall consensus. Oh, we have to come out of one out of 16. Do we want to talk about any more of the
I'm
movie?
kind of conflicted. I think I want to talk about it a little more. I'm kind of conflicted between rating this 3 stars on Letterboxd or 3.5.
I was too. I know it's not 4 stars because the original Guardian. It's not as good as the original Guardians. But I don't know. I think the reason I rated Zookeeper's Wife 4 stars is because I rated like 2 other movies recently 3.5 stars, and I'm like, it's either. It was gonna look like I only rate stuff 5 stars
Well,
and
I
3.5
just rated
stars.
2 movies in like 2 days, 3.5 stars. So I'm happy to keep that trend going as long as I can.
Everything's 3.5 stars. Like, I don't know. Aaron
All right, so-
Aaron hated this movie. Well, he didn't hate it, but like,
Well, we also made him sit by himself.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, Aaron. Yeah, I hope you're listening.
I like as I said, I shouldn't be here right now. I should be somewhere else. Shouldn't have watched this movie. Someone else should have had my seat.
No,
I feel
It's
so
terrible.
bad, and I knew it. I knew it the second Josh was next to me, and somebody asked him next to him, "Is this seat taken?" He's like, "No, you're okay," because I didn't tell him Aaron was coming. And by the time he had said that, when it hit me, they were seated. So I'm like, oh, dang it. There's no way this is going to work, is it? And nobody got
Actually,
up,
can
and then
you,
Aaron
you,
got
you
there.
said, I think all the seats are taken. I was like, there's an empty seat. And then I walked away from you and sat in my seat, and I did not deduce that Aaron Bopp was going to be here.
Ouch.
I
day.
forgot to, so. Yeah.
No,
It's okay.
I guess you're just forgettable. Aaron.
Aaron,
I
we're
was
sorry.
I was a crappy
Aaron,
friend.
you might indeed be more forgettable than this movie you didn't like very much.
Oh!
I do not endorse anything John says, just to be clear. All right, my favorite part about this movie was Zoe Salda and whatever her last name is.
Zoe Salad.
Let's just call her Zoe.
It's not
and,
ripe.
Chris Pratt's relationship. I liked that. It built off the first movie. They actually danced in this one instead of.
Talking about
they started dancing
dancing
in the first one, then she like put a knife to his throat, right?
I don't remember.
Something
He
like
was
that
talking
happened.
about sticks up people's butts and ruined the moment.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Anyway, I liked that, and then they're like, it's not unspoken at the end, but they never kissed, so it wasn't super corny, but it was still kind of corny.
Okay, this movie is corny.
That's true.
Okay, I like the word cheesy better because cheesy I think is a little bit more endearing.
Well, Indiana Jones 4 is corny. I don't think, but that's corny in like a George Lucas, I'm too old to write a script, and I don't understand how people
Interact.
yeah, that's corny in like
I don't like sand.
in like a different way. This is purposefully corny, and I think it works for the most part. I think they could have gone way more over the top.
I think the emotional moments kind of stood alone. Well, the emotional moments didn't quite hit because either they
Because
had
you have a nice family that loves you. So all these sadness.
I'm
it
hitting
didn't
end on
mean
this
anything.
podcast. One more word. This podcast's over. No, I'm kidding. I do have a lovely family. Shout out to my mom and dad.
Shout out to my mom and dad.
Actually, they're upstairs listening probably right now, and they're like, "Aww."
Aww.
Anyway, what was I? Okay, I want to say one more thing. I just think the timing of there's a delicate balance when you try to incorporate touchy-feely stuff into a kind of comedic actiony movie, and it can be done really well.
Anime does it very well. Western society is pretty bad at doing it. It's called a tone switch, and critics hate it. They like,
switch?
They like, dude, the tone wasn't consistent.
Sam
three
Raimi
stars
is the-
instead of 4.
Is the master at switching tones. I just watched a video essay on how, spoiler alert for the original Spider-Man, how Green Goblin dies.
Yeah.
Basically, he dies and then there's a joke right before he dies and then he just dies. So it's like serious, joke, serious, and it totally works. It's like basically says, oh, right before he dies, there's a close-up and it's really funny.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So he switches from killing a person to a joke to killing a person flawlessly. So
Oh my, that's
were you saying that this
interesting.
movie did do that well or didn't?
I was saying it didn't.
I honestly didn't think about how the tone switches. I liked the touchy feely bits because they made sense and they were relatable personally. But the other they are a little weak, I suppose, in comparison to a lot of other shows that try to do this. It's no Prestige.
It's no La La Land.
It's no La La Land.
Should have won Oscar.
Yeah.
I could go off on how Moonlight's a bad movie, but I'm not going to do that right now because
And
That's a. Oh,
It's-
okay.
it's
actually-
funny.
you'd hate that movie, Kenan. I guarantee it if you watched it.
Okay, here. Yeah. We're interrupting John way too much. I was just going to say what you did is like an actual writing technique where you bring up something by saying you won't bring it up. Okay, go ahead, John.
Sorry, John.
oh, okay. What? Dramatic irony. Anyway, so that's aspects. Rather not the tones switched. I wasn't thinking about that. The most negative things I thought about the movie was like, man, I might maybe I made the wrong choice in coming here. like that.
I thought about Aaron
that's
a
the
couple
issue.
times.
Yeah. I actually really liked the movie. It wasn't better than the first Guardians of the Galaxy. No, it wasn't, because the first Guardians of the Galaxy was just a fun time. I spent money on it and didn't regret a purchase. And I don't spend money
Wow.
on things.
Yeah, this ticket was like over $9.
Yeah.
It's over $9.
it didn't. I guess there was a lot of things that I liked to see in movies that weren't in this movie. Like a lot of there, like in Rogue One, one of my favorite parts of Rogue One. It was right after you told me about the art of editing and how Suicide Squad is the worst movie anyone's ever seen. And I was thinking about that while watching Rogue One, and I saw this like stuff happen in Rogue One. I was like, and then I was like, oh.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a good way. There was some really good stuff in Rogue One. All in all, one aspect of Rogue One was the main characters were weak, except for Kay the robot, which Star Wars consistently does robots well.
And the first 2 acts are pretty crap.
Sure.
I can attest to that.
You're probably right. The first 2 acts probably were pretty crap.
I enjoyed it. I rated it 4 stars after it came out, and then the more I think about it and the more video essays I see on it, like Chris Stuckman was positive, and he made a video essay a couple weeks ago, and he does not like it anymore.
Yeah.
But the 3rd act is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a... Oh, go ahead.
Here's the thing. With Star Wars Rogue One, I wanted some of those characters to die. I was like, oh my gosh, why am I caring about you? And why are you acting like that? Because it was this lower quality a lot of times, and I think about that a lot. Like when I was watching Tarzan, I wanted Tarzan to die, and then he came back from the dead, and it sucked. With Rogue One, granted my wish at the end of the movie, so what could I hold against it? And I was like, oh my gosh, it worked. I was like, so this is a shame about Kay the robot, but everything else, yeah. So like one part I like about Star Wars Rogue One is the main protagonist. I know, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The main antagonist, the guy with the white cape who wasn't Darth Vader and Darth Vader, yeah, whatever. He went to the top of this building and was like, you're not sending the signal, all right? These other Star Wars movies aren't going to happen. This isn't a prequel. And then they did, and then the guy sends this Death Star beam to destroy a town, and it just scalps the tip of the building that we knew the guy was on. He was killed in a careless mistake by his rival in the film, who was just... I liked that aspect of that movie, and all of that was communicated through a simple editing trick. A simple, small editing trick. They showed the building. We knew what it looked like. We knew they were going to the top of the building because they said it, and then they showed it, and then we knew he was on it, but he was up there with the other person, and then we saw the laser just barely scalp it. We're like, oh, he's dead. This movie didn't do any of that I noticed or liked.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 didn't do any of that at all. What Guardians of the Galaxy did is they had characters interacting with each other, and they're just fun characters. They weren't concerned with... I don't think they were concerned with having a main character. The main conflict of the movie came from the aspect of Star-Lord, whoever Chris Pratt plays. What's his name?
Star-Lord.
Yeah, Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
Quick interjection to what you had. I will say that the great factor about the original Guardians of the Galaxy is that it's an incredibly fun movie. This movie, Volume 2, is not nearly as fun.
Yeah, it has Baby Groot and cuteness wears off pretty fast.
He wasn't
Unless
as
it's your
impressive
kid.
in this movie as I expected he to be. To be honest,
Yeah.
he wasn't in it as much, and they did. To go back to editing, they did cross cut a bit between the different characters, and they kind of separated characters, which I think worked sometimes, but on other times, like, why aren't the characters together having a good old time? And then another thing was we should talk about when all the people come up to Rocket Raccoon, and then Rocket Raccoon like pulls them all up. Or
Oh,
not-
that was a
yeah.
good scene.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts as well.
It was showing how Rocket Raccoon had a lot of ingenuity and enjoyed. He enjoyed inflicting pain on people.
Because when it first cuts to that, we just see the threat, and we don't know that Rocket Raccoon knows they're there. So they come, and then suddenly they step on a thing, and then everything just starts blowing up.
Then it becomes like the Quicksilver scenes.
Only not as good.
Yeah, probably not.
Not as good as Days of Future Past
All right.
Silver.
Now,
Oh, dude.
here's
So good.
another aspect about Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is there's a lot of stuff I've watched that was a lot worse than this. Like the entire Flash TV show. Season,
That is true.
Season
Any
2,
CW
season
show,
2
any
of
CW
Arrow.
show, any CW show.
Season 3 of Gotham is
Season 2
terrible.
of Daredevil.
I thought season 1 of the Gotham's pretty good, and then it just goes
Season
downhill.
1 of Gotham was really great, and I love that. I love it. I love it a lot.
My instructor in a video class I take, he used Gotham, a scene in Gotham season 2 for an example of using insert shots.
Oh.
Wasn't very good.
I also
Well, I
enjoyed.
mean, it was just for showing insert shots, I believe. So it got that across. I mean, we know what an insert shot is now.
I
So-
enjoyed Chris Pratt's performance. How like when Chris Pratt was like happy.
He's a
like,
fun guy.
Like his everything that Chris Pratt had like when Chris Pratt isn't taking anything seriously, and the Star-Lord, the character, it means it's because he's having fun, and you immediately know when he's happy or in a good mood, and you immediately know when he's not. And there's no hesitation behind the actor, and there isn't hesitation behind the character either. And that was communicated throughout the movie, and that's an aspect I liked. So I liked a lot of aspects about the movie, and the stuff I didn't like about the movie was just the parts that were just a little bit weaker. But it wasn't so weak that I didn't like the movie.
Yeah, I think we're all coming out of this positive, correct? None of us didn't like the movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. I'd say it's okay. It's a Marvel summer blockbuster. I mean, you're going to get that. You're
Yeah,
not going to
that's-
get anything. You're not going to get a Logan, which
Dude,
is a lot
Logan
better.
was so good.
Logan's way better than this movie. Did you see that with us?
I haven't seen that movie.
Dude,
let's
it's
let's
so
not
good.
talk about that
I
movie.
thought,
All right.
okay, see, I thought you,
See,
for some
when
reason,
everyone explodes, the whole planet explodes at the end, I was so surprised. I'm just kidding.
okay, yeah.
Superman dies at the end of Logan.
Oh, another thing. Thank you for saying Superman. When
Marvel DC
when Chris
universe
Pratt
is
and
like
his
with Batman.
dad, when Chris Pratt and his dad were flying all around, pushing each other into buildings, I was like, this is Man of Steel, and this is the end of Harry Potter. Remember,
that
have you
was,
seen the last Harry Potter movie, John?
I don't
Okay,
watch Harry
that-
Potter, man.
oh yeah, he's a Christian.
I
Oh,
watch
wow.
God's Not Dead too, and I stay for it.
And anyway.
And we're
You've seen-
Christians
have you
too.
seen Man of Steel?
I saw it in theaters. I don't remember a single thing about it.
Anyway, the end is just them smashing into buildings.
Oh, I remember that part. I remember there's this weird like Zack Schneider zoom.
Oh yeah, the
on
Zack
when they're doing
Snyder zoom.
lasers.
Yep. Zack
Okay.
Snyder and J.J. Abrams zoom classic.
Okay, wait, hold on. What was I gonna? I was gonna say something. I
Anyway, that was
forgot.
very similar to Guardians of the
Oh
Galaxy.
yeah, yeah. Okay, the ending of the whole big fight scene. Oh, that was. I think I've probably said this for some other part of the movie. That might be my least favorite part of the movie was the climax because it felt like every other climax of a movie ever.
It did.
This movie was better than the Fantastic Four.
Well, almost
of
any
them.
movie is better
Yeah.
than the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
that's like saying
true.
like, the third pew is like a piece of crap with a sprinkle on it. It's still a piece of crap. It's like this movie isn't a piece of crap, but like you can say a lot of things are better than a piece of crap. A famously large turd.
That was a funny joke in the movie. Ha ha! My toes are famously big, or whatever he said.
Okay, yeah, okay, this movie is funny. Like
Yeah.
even if I didn't like love it, I laughed. I had a good time.
There are some funny. There are two that stood out. The it's like a fourth. That's like a third of that. Or what did he say? And then the smart guy was like, 25. We can barely buy anything with that. Like he was making it 25 cents, not 25 like $1 million, like whatever their equivalent is.
A quarter.
Yeah.
There was another joke that no one laughed at, but I laughed, and I thought it was hilarious. It was on the planet. Remember that? It was like a pun. I don't think very many people got.
Was it during?
I looked at you and laughed, and then you weren't really laughing, and no one else was laughing.
Okay, was it? Which like emotional family scene was it with? Was it with Chris Pratt and Zoe Salad, or was it with?
I think it was Drax said something funny, and no, Chris said
pretty
something. Chris,
people never
Chris-
know who to trust. Was that it?
No, it wasn't that. Chris said something funny, and then Drax said the same thing, only it was ironic in an ironic way. Oh no, it was I'm
Oh.
extremely humble.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
No one
I
laughed at that.
I thought it was funny,
I thought
but
that
that's
was-
that's an example of a poorly timed joke. Like this movie has great timed jokes. It also has terribly timed jokes.
I thought that was one of the funniest jokes.
I think okay.
Okay.
Personally.
I mean, you
as
laughed.
as a music person, I think the music in that scene stomped on the joke.
Oh.
I did not notice the music except it's like Timps from Mad Max Fury
Wait,
Road.
there was music in this movie?
Because Marvel music's crap. Everyone knows that. It's
No,
like the worst
there's a
music.
video on it. Like yeah, I mean
There's
I don't.
a YouTube. There's one of those YouTubes on it, and everyone's seen that video, so
Anyway,
everyone
so
agrees
what,
with that.
what are the other segments? We probably talked about this movie long enough.
No, still got stuff to say.
okay.
I still got stuff
Okay,
to say.
go ahead and say. I think I'm out.
Crap. You just put me on the spot. Oh yeah. Zoe. What'd you think of her hair? Was it a wig? Because I noticed her hair. It's different. It's got some red in it. It's a lot longer, and I think it looks great. But I'm wondering, is it a wig? John, is it a wig? Kidding.
I don't notice people's hair in movies. Like, okay, James from the Weekly Planet is always like, they have like 3 different hairstyles. that was not my impersonation of an Australian accent, by the way. I could do much worse than that. But he's always talking about how there's like, okay, this is a new wig, right? This is new hairstyle.
I
And
didn't notice a wig.
Also, the 80s hairstyle for the dad was on point. It looks kind of like mild hair, only not as good. And my hair is not as good as that hair, but it's pretty good. Yeah, her hair is great. That's another thing I loved about the movie. Her hair.
Let's rate this movie.
All right.
On a scale of 1 to 16 Napoleon Dynamites.
How many Napoleon Dynamites do we give it?
Okay, setting the tone here.
Gosh.
16 out of 16 is an explosive movie because it's Napoleon Dynamite. 16 out of 16 Napoleon Dynamites.
I think I'd give it. Let's see. Half of 16 is 8. So I'd give it
This is us
eight,
thinking.
I'd give it 8 Napoleon Dynamites. I think it's
I think
enjoyable.
that's fair. I
wouldn't recommend it unless you want just a blockbuster.
Okay.
Yeah, blockbuster.
See, like,
It's
okay.
just a movie.
Yeah, it's
50%
movie.
Rotten Tomatoes is technically rotten, but I don't think that. I think about a 50% movie, it's okay to have a 50% movie.
It's
right?
gonna be a bad movie, usually.
50%?
Yeah.
Like on Rotten Tomatoes, yeah, but like you just rated this movie half.
Of a
rated
Napoleon
it 50%,
Dynamite.
basically.
Basically.
But it's still like it's
You know what?
You had a
Since-
good time though,
since
right?
I'm gonna give it 9 Napoleon Dynamites to change my mind, just because
The credits
I had
were so
some
good.
I had some fun with it. You know.
Yeah.
It made me laugh a few times.
Yeah, I think
It made me cry.
It did?
Oh yeah, you looked over me and my eyes were like watering because I've been staring at a screen for
Oh,
2
yeah, I
hours.
was like,
and
are
I was
you
like,
crying?
I was like, I wiped out like something, and I was like, yeah. No,
I don't.
It doesn't make me cry.
It's not that hard to make
this
me
isn't
tear
a
up.
La La Land, okay?
It's not that hard
Like,
to make
okay.
me tear up.
I don't think that either, but this movie did not do a very good job of making me tear up.
Which it's a Marvel
I
movie,
felt
what do you expect?
I really liked the Rocket and Zandu is his name?
The blue guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xandus.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh,
I
no.
cried because
Is it- I
he
think it's-
died and I liked him.
Oh, you actually cried.
He was. I teared up.
Oh, man.
He
Oh,
was.
we're here
He
for
was
you, John.
Mary Poppins.
He was, yeah. Oh yeah, that joke was funny too.
The-
Mary Poppins.
It's basically if you've listened to this podcast, we've ruined the best parts for you, and you shouldn't watch the movie. And if you've already
Spoilers.
watched the movies, you already know that it's a funny movie.
Yeah, it's a funny. I think there's funnier movies I've seen.
Now on to our next segment. You know,
Wait,
which
wait,
movie-
you guys haven't
I
rated it
I
yet.
haven't rated it. Okay. I will rate it, and then the guest will have the privilege
Of
of
rating
rating it last.
Out of Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh.
Yes, and it has to be out of 16 Napoleon Dynamites.
Okay, how many Napoleon Dynamites do you give it, Ken?
Okay, I was almost on board with your 8 out of 16, but I have to agree.
You better not rate it 8.5.
What?
You better not rate it 8.5.
8.5? No, I this guy I agree with so much. It's not even funny. Like, I think I'm gonna give it 9 out of 16 as well because I think the same. Like, it's a fine movie. It didn't make me necessarily happy, like the Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, I came out with a warm feeling in my heart. That's the thing I remember.
Your soul.
It truly was, and that's when I realized it was a good movie. Theo does not think it's a good movie, but anyway, what was I saying? This movie is. It didn't produce the same effect. It wasn't so heartwarming. It tried, didn't quite make it, but I laughed. I had a great time, I think. Well, yeah, I mean, it's fun to go see movies with friends. So I would say 9 out of 16. That's great. It's a rating deserving of this movie because there's good parts and there's parts that don't work, just like in every movie, but it's still a positive ratio. John?
I clearly like this movie more than you guys, so I'm going to give it like an 11 out of 16 Napoleon Dynamites.
Actually, I'm changing my rating. I go with John. I agree with this guy so much, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, go ahead.
I just the one someone died forever, and that's rare in a Marvel movie. Two,
Well, we don't know
Stanley showed up twice in this movie.
That is
And so
true.
did Howard the Duck. He showed up like 3 times.
What did you guys
didn't
think of when they were jumping through like different space things and
That-
then all
it
their
was-
faces
that
were
was
like
just
destroyed?
it was just a funny cheap
he?
joke.
It was funny
Yeah.
at first. The second time it happened, it wasn't as funny. It was an okay transition, but it wasn't as funny the second time.
I do feel like this movie kind of killed the plot line of Chris Pratt, Star-Lord's mysterious dad.
That
like,
is true.
oh, he showed up. He was a character. He was evil, and he was no Darth Vader. So, the plot and the story of this movie, nah, it's about the characters, and I thought it was funny, and I thought a lot of the chemistry was fine. I liked it. They said a lot of things like like at the end the raccoon. Their raccoon changed at the end of the movie.
That is true.
He changed.
He had probably the best arc.
He was a butthole at the beginning, and then he got to
Thank you for making it so I don't have to censor this, Caleb.
yeah.
Wait, I still have to.
Okay.
And then he was Clayton's gonna listen to this, and we don't want Clayton saying bad things because he's probably gonna be our only listener.
Okay, no.
I also
I told my dad I would show him this podcast.
I'll show this to my. I worked at a movie theater, and no one listened to podcasts there, so I'm gonna send this to them and be like, "Yo, I made a podcast just for you."
Okay, finish what you're gonna say. I have one more thing to say.
I have a
after
thing
that.
to say after you too.
Okay.
so.
Wait, are you done?
No,
No, wait, it was you.
I was talking.
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
But it's fine. It's a podcast. Interrupting's half the fun.
True.
And, they oh wait. The Guardians of the Galaxy team compared to the Avengers, I like the Guardians of the Galaxy team a lot more. They have the chemistry in the Avengers. It's so snappy and so sparse, and I loved Civil War, but they solved that conflict at the end of that movie with a letter. They wrote a letter. That was how they settled the movie, and it went over my head the first time I watched the movie. I was like, that movie was so good. I love Spider-Man. And it was still a great movie. It's just like that's how they ended that movie. With this movie, they ended it. They started it with them not getting along for personal reasons that was settled by the end of the movie, and they end up crashing on a planet, and they almost die. The only reason the big guy doesn't die was because he was big. All right, his bigness saved his life. The aspects and the strong suits of all these characters are proudly put on display. They all develop, and I felt like the characters themselves made good points. None of nothing felt particularly out of place. The only thing that was, some of the movement, some of the things were just a little weak sometimes, and that's only in retrospect. So, and the funny parts were pretty funny. So I liked the movie, and I gave it 11 Napoleon Dynamites out of 16.
A Flevin?
You
I'm
guys
sorry.
also like Napoleon Dynamite more than I do, so
Wow.
of course I'm going to give them more.
I think we're not in a straight circle, or not in a straight circle. It's not in a straight line. He likes it. Probably you're 16 out of 16, right? Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, he invented this.
I don't think I'm quite 16 out of 16. You're probably definitely below 16 out of 16.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
The movie
that's
was
I think
fine.
that's a perfect movie, and I think it's one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah, like E.T.
I don't understand.
Oh,
I don't understand why it's such a low underscore rating. Because I saw it, I didn't really know much about it like a couple months ago, and I rated it 5 out of 5, knowing like no other ratings. And then I realized people didn't like it for some reason.
My dad doesn't like it. My aunt loves it. My aunt absolutely adores this movie. She was like, "You haven't seen Napoleon Dynamite? Bring all your friends. We're watching it at my house." Did you watch it with us?
I watched it at your birthday.
Okay, it was in summer. That my birthday was just like 2 months ago, so that was not recent. That wasn't the first time I've seen it. First time I saw it, Class of Challenge B.
So it was like 2 years ago? Wait,
No,
what?
I think it was.
Oh,
like
you're in
3.
Challenge 3. So
Yeah,
that'd be
Yeah, so it was a long time ago. So
you saw it
challenge
before I did.
Challenge B happened, and then in the summer we got together. I think everyone was there. That was back when Aaron was part of Challenge. Good
So it's
old
like
Aaron.
2012.
Probably.
Oh, Aaron, we haven't forgotten you.
See, I just saw this in December of last year. So like, however long it is, like 5 months, 6 months ago.
Anyway,
I tapped this keyboard and it didn't make any funny sound effects.
because
and
it's not
now,
on.
Now I'm a fool.
All right, finish your story, Kevin.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think you're on the right track in saying that. All that to say that you're on the right track in that there are different tiers of people. Not tiers of people. That sounds like I'm like a Nazi or something. Like there's
Jews
people.
and there's Nazis.
There's two kinds of people.
Interrupting
people,
the Jew.
Bringing that on this podcast. Great start. Okay, there's two kinds of people. People who do like Napoleon Dynamite and people who don't like Napoleon Dynamite.
I would agree
And
with
that's
that.
a trait inherited by the father. for the record.
No, it's not.
Oh, you're right. It is inherited by the mother.
My mom, I think, liked it. I don't know if she loved it. I know my dad was like, I don't get this movie. Well, I don't know that. I think the last time I talked to him about it, he said that.
I was making a joke about genetics.
Oh yeah,
and-
because that's
and
in this movie.
Because we were
Okay.
talking about Nazis and those golden people in this movie.
Oh no.
Oh, we didn't even
also-
talk about the golden
No,
people in
alright,
like the
see-
video game type thing.
Okay, that was funny.
The golden people are funny. They show up at the beginning as a gag, but continue to show up. They maintain as a threat, and they felt like the best storytelling in this film.
So I thought it was funny at the beginning. They make a video game basically like they're out of the ship so that they don't kill. So the Guardians of the Galaxy don't kill people. But then before starting a third act or end of second act.
Oh, they kill so many
they
people.
kill so many people.
Oh
like
my
hundreds of
gosh.
people just dead. So what was the point? I guess it was
Dude,
so they could keep
die,
coming
like,
back.
on the hundreds. There's like
They just
okay.
get
You
ripped
think
through the
you
heart.
think this pile of skeletons in Star Lord's dad's basement is impressive? Nah. Xandu, is that his name? Xandu. I can't remember the blue guy's name. Cause so like he's got his like cool mohawk whistle arrow thing, only in Guardians of the Galaxy, and
name's
he's
Michael
literally
Rooker.
killing every single one of his crew except for the guy who didn't betray him. So like that makes sense for his character
through the heart.
though.
Through the heart. Like they're going through the heart, slow mo, no
Like
blood
okay,
though.
like
but
see that's the. It fit his character, I think,
It's
but it's
because
like
it's a lightsaber, that's why
so
there's no
many
blood.
bodies. You think Punisher was violent in Daredevil season 2? This just
that was
like,
a lot more bloody than this, but this had a lot more bodies.
oh my gosh. Okay, Okay, the thing I was gonna say before we close all this out, is that the one-liner to close out the big fight between Star-Lord and
What was
his
the
dad,
one-liner?
He was like, no, don't do this. If you do this, you'll be like everybody else. And he's like, is that so bad? And then like it explodes. I'm like, you're gonna end on that? Seriously?
They're singing the Legend of Tarzan.
Yes.
What?
They're singing the Legend of Tarzan.
I don't. I try to block that movie out of my mind.
He was thought once to be an evil spirit, a ghost of the trees.
No, don't say that.
Tarzan.
I have another thing to say. Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa himself, was in this movie for about 10 minutes, and then they set something up at the end. That went over my head. I'll have to wait till I listen to Weekly Planet because they'll know what that is. But that's like, is that another team? What is that? Because he's a big actor to cast in such a small role for this movie, so they're obviously setting him up.
So
to
many
be bigger.
unanswered questions.
So
This
all in
movie,
all,
and then the golden people, they made something, and they're gonna call him Adam. What was that about? I've never read a Marvel comic in my life, so I have no idea.
I'm thinking that
all right. So
that Adam is the ultimate creation by people who also think that they are creators, like the Planet Dude. Was the Planet Dude a metaphor for God? I mean, he was a god.
He would a
He didn't-
lowercase g.
he was a
That's a
lowercase
quote
G.
from the movie.
He couldn't create life. He couldn't.
Also, how he built his human body before he met humans.
Yeah, that was weird.
That
It's
was
like,
stupid. Also, the worst.
the
Okay.
more we think about this movie, the worse it gets.
Okay. New rating 1 out of 60.
Just kidding.
Just kidding.
I still say, what did I say, 9?
Yeah, we
I
both
still
said 9.
maintain
He said
9.
11.
Oh my gosh. Guys, this was our plan all along. 9/11.
No.
Which did 9/11?
Jews did 9/11.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
We're gonna have to
Just
cut
to
that part
just
out.
to be clear, the person who said that might be a Jew, so it wasn't
I'm
racist.
barely Jewish.
It wasn't racist. I just poked a hole in this thing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
You're gonna have to pay my dad 2 cents or however much that costs.
All in all, this movie might not have been. It was more of a good time than it was a piece of art.
Yeah,
Agreed. Definitely agreed.
Like what is this?
Like
This
if you
hasn't
watch
done anything
something,
new.
if you watch something like The Prestige, you walk away with this pain in your soul, but you know you watched something fantastic.
True.
And I think another thing, Christopher Nolan's a much better filmmaker than James Gunn. And
I noticed some good
Christopher
things in
Nolan's
this
a
movie.
lot better
but
at
yeah.
cross-cutting because The Dark Knight is like that finale is all cross-cut and it's
Dude, now I
beautifully
want to
done.
watch The Dark Knight again. Dark Knight was so good.
I haven't seen it for a long. I think
I
last time
own it
saw
on Blu-ray. We should watch it right
This
now.
is better than the time with the boat.
So this is no Dark Knight, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Segments.
think I have anything else unless
I think that's it.
I
enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
Would we recommend it? We enjoyed these things, but don't necessarily recommend these.
I would recommend it if you want the blockbuster, as I said before.
Yeah, it's a fun time. If you have the money, go see it in theaters. Probably don't buy it on Blu-ray like Jeremy Johns. I don't. He didn't say that, but like that's one of his ratings is buy it on Blu-ray.
All right, so should we go to our next segment?
The most amazing segment.
All right, so our next segment is called "What Classic Movie Did Clayton Watch This Week That We Didn't?" So to explain it, Clayton is my neighbor, and he just is way into classic movies. And we went on his letterbox one day and was like, "Wow, we will never watch as many classic movies as Clayton." So he's constantly watching classic movies. So let's see what classic movie he watched this week. All right, on April 29th, Clayton.
This is like Facebook stalking
Clayton
somebody.
Hamburg, which is his, if you want to follow him on Letterboxd, Clayton Hamburg. He's got his little brother as his profile picture because it defaulted that for some reason. He watched Vertigo. I think Alfred Hitchcock classic. Have you seen Vertigo, John?
No.
I watched it, when did I watch it? I have it logged. A couple weeks ago. It's fantastic.
I think me and my family have rented it several times. Not rented it, but like borrowed it from the library and never got to it.
It's really, it's no Psycho, and I think it's better than Rear Window. I think it's my second favorite Hitchcock out of the 4 Hitchcocks I've seen.
Isn't it all in one take, or is that something else?
That's Rope. I
Oh,
have not
that is
seen
Rope.
Rope. Yeah, Vertigo is great. They invented that. Oh, another thing, Guardians of the Galaxy did the Vertigo effect, where you know how you just keep your subject in frame at the background moves?
Mm-hmm.
That was invented in Vertigo. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So basically,
I gotta see this movie.
You zoom in and you move the camera at the same time.
Wait, I gotta see this movie. That's what this show is all
Yeah,
about.
we didn't
That's
even
what this
explain-
show is all about.
We didn't explain the gimmick of this podcast
Oh my
yet.
gosh, we're over an hour
We
in.
should finish this segment first.
Okay. You'll find out why you're listening
Next
after.
time on.
Anyway,
continue.
yeah, so he watched Vertigo. He watched a whole bunch of Studio Ghibli movies.
Nice.
Two of which I've not
I
seen.
need to borrow those.
Wait, hold on.
please,
Hold on.
please, 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 please. You have Porco Rosso
He
on like
doesn't-
your top movies.
Yeah.
That's not even one of the top known Studio Ghibli movies,
And
and you
Lupin
rated
the
it.
Third, which is like no one knows about it.
But you rated Porco Rosso
the
5
cat-
stars.
The Ghibli,
Oh, yeah.
the Ghibli movie about the
We should
cat
do it. We could-
isn't on this list, and that's
We
the
could
only
do that
Ghibli
on our
movie
next
I've
episode.
seen.
No, we'll do Corn. We'll
Oh,
announce
My Neighbor
that at the end.
Totoro. Yeah, we watched My Neighbor Totoro illegally. I mean, police that are listening. I guess it's technically
We
not
watched
illegal.
it out of
yeah, that's
country
the
in a
classic-
country we weren't supposed
That's
to be
the classic
in.
movie Clayton watched.
That was an amazing segment. What did he rate it?
He rated it 5 stars.
Nice. Does he have a review with it?
He does. Would you like me to read it?
Yes, please.
Crap, I just. Alright, it's the ending scene was happening, period. I was sitting in shock, then the movie ended, period. And then space, and then all in caps. Oh my gosh! 1 like by me. Guys, go like that review. It's a fantastic review.
Clayton, go like your own review because you're the
Um,
only person listening.
Yeah, go follow Clayton. He's got a freaking
I thought
bio now.
I thought the name of the segment was
He's got 4 followers. He needs more. He deserves more. Look at that. He's got 36 reviews. Shout out to Clayton. He's at Clayton Hamburg.
Literally, we're gonna shout out every episode. It's a segment now.
Yeah.
It's a
If you
segment.
stop, okay, Clayton, if you stop watching classic movies, this segment's gonna die. You have to keep this segment alive. Otherwise, we're gonna have to start like hate mail with an 8 or something. It's like one of my favorite segments.
So next segment,
What is that?
it's how many followers has Carpenter Jake gotten on Letterboxd in the past week?
This thing
So
is
this is an
this
inside
podcast
joke.
is too much based on Letterboxd. We need to tone it down a bit.
Anyway, Carpenter Jake, I told one of my friends who worked at the movie theater, hey, this Letterboxd, and he got it, and he really liked it, and he's like, I'm gonna be the most followed person on Letterboxd, and I think he believed that, and he has not logged a movie since February 17th, which was Fist Fight, which
You rated it like 2 stars, right?
that is a 2.5 star movie. And who's seen that movie? Okay,
Apparently him.
He's got 3 followers.
Who has seen Keeping Up with the Joneses? Dude, that movie is so bad.
So hopefully,
It's- okay.
Carpenter Jake will get more followers. Okay, this segment's over. Keep it up. Keep up the good work, Carpenter Jake. Go follow him, guys. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right.
I'm out of segments.
Okay, no. There's one more. There's another segment that we need. That's the gimmick of this show. Okay, this show is called "What Movie Should Kevin?" Oh my gosh.
Canon.
We're just reading the
Get it.
title of the.
Okay, no, I wasn't. I actually okay. I listened to too much Josh and Kevin. Okay, this podcast, if you're listening and you are not like you've been actually looking at the title, it's "What Movie Should Kenan Watch?" The entire gimmick of this show, and to you watching at home, also, is that people are on here to tell me how little movies I watch, how much I need to go and get myself educated.
So basically, one week we'll talk about a movie we watched, and then at the end of the episode we'll be like, okay, we're gonna watch this movie next, and then next week or whatever the next
by
episode.
next episode, I will have watched the movie and will
Talk about
hopefully
it.
share my thoughts. We'll probably
Hopefully we
share
get some
thoughts.
differing opinions.
Yeah, we'll probably share thoughts on what we thought about the movie, and then maybe another movie we've watched that wasn't mentioned.
Yeah.
That's probably what we're gonna do.
So next week.
In case you haven't noticed, we have 0 script for this. That first segment is 90% of the podcast. It just flip flops all over. Okay, go ahead. You were saying.
So basically, I think. Are you gonna come over next weekend?
I asked my mom. See, this happens every time I ask my parents. Every time you ask something, somebody asks something. They're always working. I guess not always. We have a little bit of time after everything, but by that time everybody's tired. Whenever my parents, they work unconventional time jobs. They go from like late afternoon to evening, and when I get the texts, I'm like, hey, Mom, can I do this? And they're like, this isn't a good time. We should talk about it later. And so far, for at least this, later has not come. So sometimes it takes a while.
Next week, next Saturday, then we'll record well, I don't know when this is going to be aired.
It might be over Skype.
We'll definitely watch Cornetto Trilogy next time we come over, and then we'll do an episode on all 3 movies. That will be a long episode, probably.
We'll have to actually script stuff out and say like we'll have to.
We'll have notes. Take notes during the movie.
Yeah, this
Because
was
those are some pretty good movies.
this was unscripted completely.
It's kind of hard to take notes in a movie theater. It's possible though.
It really is. Well, we did it. The first episode of What Movie Should Kenan Watch.
Next week, Cornetto Trilogy, or next episode whenever this comes out. I don't know the schedule.
This has been lovely. Thank you for listening,
Yeah,
Clayton.
yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening, Clayton. I'm gonna send this. If I send this, if I send
Clayton was the only one listening.
if I send this to you, it means I think about you every single day.
When I think of you.
We should probably end this. All right, grab that gem. Bye, guys.
What did you even say?
Grab that gem.
Okay,
Hey,
please
we did it. That was fun, guys.
that was
Are we
it.
still
Thank you for listening. Oh my god.
Welcome to mouth clicking with Arcade. All right, end it. Hurry. I can't do this much longer.